So one of the most common questions I get on Instagram when posting about action figure dioramas is, what kind of glue do you use? So today we're going to talk about the different types of glue that I use and what they're used for. Okay, so the first and most common type of glue we use is Elmer's Glue. It's easy to find, it's cheap, and it really actually does a pretty good job of sealing together foam. So the downside to Elmer's Glue is it takes forever to dry. So it does take quite some time. So I usually don't even use it that much anymore for this type of thing. Like this is just putting the layers of a hill together. Or you could use it, just if you're making like steps or, just any pieces where you're joining foam together, you could actually use Elmer's or white glue and it'll work just fine. But it will take quite some time to dry, usually overnight. And so normally for something like this, I would probably use something faster like a hot glue gun or maybe Tacky Glue, but usually a hot glue gun. Next up is Tacky Glue, which is basically the same stuff, pretty close as white glue, except it's much thicker. It's drier, it dries a little bit quicker, or quite a bit quicker actually. And because it's thicker, it kind of it sticks to things better. It's tacky, and you can use it for sticking pieces like this onto a larger piece. If you're doing like lots of little small pieces, I didn't need that much foam here. I'm gonna make like a trim piece on a wall here. Something else I usually do now that I picked up from Euler's Workshop, I might put a link to that, is I'll use pins in conjunction with Tacky Glue a lot to keep the piece. Yep, I'm already jacking it up because I'm filming. I should have drawn a line on there, but to keep the piece right where I want it to be and keep it level so it's not moving around. I say that as I'm moving it all over the place. I should probably wait till this dries to do this, but I'm going to do it now. Okay. So it's a little more expensive than white glue, normal white glue, but I tend to use it more just because it's easier, I find, to work with because it's a little bit more sticky. Finally, we have the hot glue gun. This is a pretty old and beat up one, but the hot glue gun, this is a high temperature one. It comes in low temperature as well. Basically uses these glue sticks that are pretty cheap, and a pack of them will last a nice time, a good long time. It is the quickest solution. So if you were gluing like this hill together right here that I did before with the white glue, you put the hot glue on the bottom of it and it will dry in about 30 seconds to a minute and it'll be good to go. You can do whatever you need to do with it. It's not as strong as any of the other glues we're going to talk about, but it is the most convenient if you're trying to do something with lots of little pieces. Like I had some bookshelves I put together, you can see on my Instagram page, and they have like lots of little, slats and little, I don't know what you call them, braces that the shelves sit on. It would be not impossible. It would drive you nuts trying to do it with something like this. With this, it's super quick. You just stick a little on there, jam it together, and it's good to go. Last but certainly not least, we have Mod Podge. Now, Mod Podge is useful for quite a few things. It's basically a glue, just like these guys. It takes a while to dry, but it also has like a varnish and so it acts as a protector. You can seal things with it. It's thinner than normal glue, white glue, so I find that you can do this with white glue too, but I usually use Mod Podge for it. I find that Mod Podge works really good when you're trying to flock something because, like I said, it's much more liquidy than normal glue. So So if I was trying to put some flock on this boulder, which we're going to do, we're going to do some there. Just sprinkle some of this flock onto it. Okay, so that looks really good. That'll take a while to dry. Usually I'd leave that overnight, and it will actually come off a hair pretty easy unless you do an additional step after by sealing it with something else. So Mod Podge can also be used, as you see here. This is mixed with black paint, and this is something that I first saw with Black Magic Craft on YouTube. I used to use just normal black paint for a base coat, and then I would put Mod Podge on after everything. But this kind of makes it convenient because it's all in one step. You have your Mod Podge together with your black paint, and then you just use it as the base coat for everything that you make. And then it's already kind of like hardens the foam a little, gives it a little bit of a plasticky feel to it, kind of protects it. And then when you put the paint on after, Mod Podge gives a little bit of a glossy look, even the matte. So if you put that on after, you won't have like a really dead flat look if that's what you're looking for. A lot of people still use Mod Podge, and I do sometimes still to seal stuff after it's done because, well, you just don't want stuff, you know, tearing apart, but breaking it, like getting indents from people's feet or the paint chipping off, depending on if it's something that, you know, moves or touches something else. If it's something that's not going to be touched and it just sits there, you probably don't need the extra step of having the sealer on the outside. But yeah, Mod Podge is great for many different things. One thing we didn't really talk about too much before is price. So this is probably the cheapest stuff you could get. This is a little bit more pricey, maybe like $3 or $4 or something like this. I don't remember, but it's not bad because it does last quite a while. Mod Podge is pretty expensive. These little ones you could find at the dollar store, which I didn't know that, but I saw that in a video by Rocco the Great. And these are $1, so that's cool for 2 ounces. But these guys, man, they're like maybe $5 and $8 or something like that at the craft store. They do last a while, but I use a lot of it, so I go through quite a bit. I've been just buying the big ones and refilling everything as I go. Oh yeah, and the hot glue. These sticks that go in the back of the hot glue gun. I mean, first you can get the gun for like $6 or something, and the sticks are probably, I don't know, $3 for a whole pack of them. They last so long I haven't had to buy any in years, honestly, so I don't even know what the price is anymore. It's very cheap and reasonable for the amount of use you get out of it. Anyone who made it this far, thank you guys for watching. I hope this was useful. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and comment below, and I'll see you next time.